So hello, welcome back. I wanted to finally do a sketch tour, and to start, I want to start over here. A nice generous friend contacted me asking me help. They wanted to do a mural for their significant other, and I agreed. If they bought all the supplies and everything, that I would do it. I would help them paint it for free, you know? And I really liked this person, and I was excited to hang out. And then I got nervous because I just have anxiety, and decided to come up with these 3 ideas. And I enjoyed the process. I used my partner Noe's art supplies. I think these are markers. Yeah, these markers are from the same set as this sketchbook, the Jazza book that came out I think a year ago. He has a new set. It even has the date. That's fun. I'm glad I started a friend at an art meetup at a board game cafe and told me to remember to start dating my work. And I was like, you know what, you're right, I've been meaning to. So I started to do that. I enjoyed this process so much, and swatching it out, that I was like, well, let me try to do a sketchbook. And my partner originally got this sketchbook for himself for the Jazza book, and they didn't like it because you can't rip out pages. And I decided, you know what, I'll take it, and I started drawing here. Actually, you could see this was on the 24th, and this was the 29th, so 5 days after this, I started this sketchbook. Because I enjoyed it so much, and I don't know what to do, so I started doing little drawings and writing what I thought about it. Inspired by Hilma Klint, because I really enjoyed her notebooks. These notebooks that date back, and she draws and writes stuff on it, and I really enjoyed it, even though I can't read what she's writing since it's in Swedish. But this is watercolor and black and white photos. I just really became fascinated with sketchbooks, and I never really thought sketchbooks were cool since I wasn't an artist beforehand, but now I get it. Enough of that. I love this. It's from the University of Chicago Press. It's a college textbook. That was kind of like the inspiration for this, why I wrote things, and I didn't much like it, but I think these are wonderfully soft. I was like trying to have a little comment for each one, just something pretty. And you can see the dates, 1/6/20, 1/7. I was like, ooh, look at me being productive and artistic. Noe has great ideas. The black really brings the depth that was missing. Let's see. Noe gave me an idea to put the little hints of black. So this is my first attempt at doing that. And then I love the colors, but I would rather switch them. I think it would be prettier as a purple flower with a blue background. Try my hand at shading. So I always have a hard time. It's like back in back in elementary school trying to learn division. My brain's like, I do not compute. It's just I had the hardest time seeing it, and I'm still learning. I really love this one. I mess up a little bit, but I really enjoyed the shading. Like, if I had done it exactly right, it would have been more obvious, the shading. Oh, this one's January 7th. Ooh, skipped around. So here's where I said I like the background. I switched it here, added some. Yeah, the value helps a lot. Shading is way more important than I ever realized. I love the purple. The flower needs work. I was trying to do something. And this this was just ideas because I was having a hard time filling this up. I was like, I'll just use this as a swatching thing too. Don't mind my bad handwriting and my bad spelling and me trying to a little bit more chaotic. I like swatches and having little materials. It's like when I used to be a writer. And then I stopped and I felt like I was missing something, so I started crafting until I landed on art. And I'm only 3 years in my journey. I'm so new, and I hope you enjoy me fumble through this. So this is a design I mentioned I've made since I was in high school. The purple isn't right, but the pink is exactly what I envisioned. Yeah, the purple, I wanted more of a difference between them, but yeah, and I should have done the lighter bit in the middle, but whatever. So this design I've been making since high school, on notebooks, on my pants, on everything. Now I've done it on paintings and I'm doing it in sketches. I still not satisfied. I wanna, there's something always really cool about the black and white one. It's still my favorite. This looks like I used graphite pencil, but I used a metallic silver Prismacolor. Oh, did I write anything on that one? At some point I stopped writing on them. Oh, this one I just skipped. I really like this one. There was nothing to add to this. I might put this into a painting. It's just so interesting. This one was like psychedelic colors. I'm rather impressed by the red and yellow. One of my favorite pieces. I would change only the orange. It clashes. See, I really like this one a lot. And I tried to at first write on both, draw on both sides, but there's transfer. And you can see some of the color from here. It's more obvious some of the darker colors, but like this one right here, you can see it's almost like a perfect impression of this, right? I absolutely love this one. I took up the whole page. The green and shapes are my fave. I'm thinking I should have left the pink white, unsure. Oh yeah, the pink looked really cool when it was white. Forgot about that. Oh, this is a Dead Kennedy logo. I used to draw it all the time in high school. It was one of the few band logos I could draw. I was just obsessed. It's just a bunch of lines. As long as you do some lines this way, that way. And I loved the Dead Kennedys back when I was a teenager. I think I was like 14 when I started listening to them. I really enjoyed their rebellious political music, and it pissed my family off. This I got as an idea. I got the idea for this. Well, let's see what it says here. A sketchbook from college I still have was made from recycled paper, and I loved how it looked before I doodle on it, on the blank spaces. It just feels like we are eating away at the earth, and we do so little and pat ourselves as our planet dies. So my design ate at the original. Yeah, so I got a notebook. It said sustainable, and it had a little planet because it was recycled paper. And so I drew because it was just a plain gray notebook. Actually, let me go get it. So this is the actual notebook I had back when I was in college. So, oh yeah, this is recycled paper, and I drew this. I think this was 2011, and I didn't think of myself as artistic. Okay. I just really liked how it has sustainable and my design is kind of like creeping up on it, and I've loved it. That's why I kept it. And so this is where that came from. From that to this. I think I still like the original better. But that was just my little take on it. Let me move these out the way. Okay, so they're back there now. Alright, should I go faster? Just trying my hand at shading. And I think, oh, nope, no words. And you can see some of the Dead Kennedy imprint, but look at how much blue is. Look at all that blue, right? Ooh. And the red. I will always be a him fan. If you don't know him, I don't know if you'll like them. This is actually, I was talking to my cousin, and she was talking to me about her chakra colors, and I was picking out colors for this, and I was like, well, let me just put it, and then, let me just use those colors. She was talking to me like it's like it was meant to be, and so I put it. It's like weird looking almost. Oh, I made a kitty looking out the window. I'm taking a class now for perspective and drawing and everything, but this was my hand before I started taking these back. Fear. This is when certain things started happening. I wrote a little something something on the next page. It's gonna be okay, right? We can never know. Even our own mind works against us. The world is going to shit, but it always does. Life is a bitch and then we die. I don't want to think like that. It's toxic. It's toxic and leads nowhere. Life can be about love and beauty. I want to create art. I want to learn. I want to love. It's gonna be okay. I wrote that when I drew this. I drew it out, and I didn't bring any of my colors with me. I was out and about when I drew this, and then I wrote this, and then I colored it in when I got home. So I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot draw. I tried to draw my own thing. It looks so cartoony, and I didn't like it. So, you know, I couldn't. I know. But then I did this, and I fell in love, and I painted. I painted that. Did a little tiny TikTok of that. Just wanted to paint something. Just creating for the sake of creating. And then this, I just really like patterns, so I threw this together, and it takes way long to do patterns, but I love them so much. Ooh, sorry for my shaky camera work. I'm the worst, aren't I? So this is my first attempt at making stones and trying to shade them. Like, this looks cool. I really like this one. I did make a video about some of these, but I got tired. And I love these ones. It's like I took my favorites from here and did it bigger and concentrated on shading. More shading. I got help from Pinterest, to be honest. This is just another thing from Pinterest. I watched a few documentaries while I watched this. Man, I love this one, how it looks. I like the red parts the best, to be honest. Woo! This is just funky colors, trying to be cool. I don't know. Try my hand at skiers to make them look like they're floating or something. I think someone said they look better this way. It's like, I like that. Or is it this way? I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I love this one. I just put a bunch of circles and went to town. Speaking of Hilma though, this is fan art, Death Note fan art thing. Oh yeah, this is also fan art. Anyways, I don't wanna. I just thought it was really pretty. Death Note had it, and it stayed as an impression in my brain until I ironically put it in here. Now it's impressed in here. And I just wanted to do a heart because it's pretty. I liked it before I put the dark black lines, but I'm glad I took a picture beforehand. Maybe I can insert it here if I can find it. And now these are a bunch of Hilmas. I'm gonna have to, I do have them on my phone, so I can insert a picture of her, Hilma af Klint's work. I got the inspiration while looking at some of the notebooks. I have this one I just showed you. Then I have this one. This is from the Guggenheim. It's really, oh yeah, you can see that. And this is my newest present. It's more of like a biography almost. I started reading that. But, so I got these from, to be honest, I don't know which book. I think it might be the notes. Or no, from the Guggenheim one, I think. Oh no, a combination of both because neither one is complete. And this is also a Hilma's. I'll insert that one in here too. I think the next few ones are Hilma's. They were automatic drawings. They would meditate. Actually, back here I want to do my own version of this once I become a little bit more skilled. Oh, it's in my new textbook. It's like in my mind both new and old sketchbook are the same. Okay, so creative exercises inspired by Hilma af Klint. So she did prayer and study a sacred text and more prayer and like studying a spiritual text of some kind and more prayer and then to draw. And this is like my how do I say it? I don't know how. I'm blanking on the word right now. I'm just talking about so many things that it just left. But this is my atheistic take on her religious studies in order to do some automatic writing. Try not to think about what you're drawing, writing, leaving your mind blank and let your hand move freely. So you're just basically injecting yourself with images and then letting your brain just pick out things and mesh them together and then finding meaning in it. And I just thought that would be interesting to do. So, and I'm not religious in any way, so I was like, well, let me put some meditation. I'm not very good at meditation, so 5 to 10 minutes is a lot for me. And I just added documentaries and this analysis of a text, and the text can be anything, because she did the same thing, a review and analysis of a sacred text. But I decided to do a text can really just be a song, an article, movie, a poem, and you write a review and analysis, and then you meditate. I find the idea intriguing, and I really want to do that. I took those automatic drawings that Hilma and her group of artist friends, because they didn't do this alone. They were afraid of going insane by contacting spirits. Think Cthulhu and insanity, you know. It's the same kind of era, early 1900s, when Hilma was creating art. So this I don't remember, I haven't read enough to know what this is. I just picked an image I liked. It's one of the few I haven't read about, so I can't say what this is. And this one, I really like this one. A few of these are TikToks. Are Hilma and the 5 her artist friends. This one too. Automatic drawings, and the pictures I will be inserting, they are you can see that they weren't color, they were just pencil drawings. And I wanted to know what these pictures would look like in color versus the way Hilma and her group drew them. So I just drew as best I could, freehanding them, and colored them using the color palette from my favorite. It's the series of paintings that got me into Hilma af Klint. It's a limited palette. It's called Primordial Chaos. I'll show you a few since I know they're not the easiest to find online, and I have this lovely book, this beautiful book. So to be honest, the first things that got me into Hilma, I think, is what gets everybody into Hilma, which is, I just passed, is one of the altarpieces. I saw this and I was just, well, who's that? Just curious, you know, like, wow. Sometimes you see one art piece and it's above and beyond anything else the artist does. It's like a one-hit wonder for a song, at least where it hits my brain and aesthetic right. You know, like, ooh, I like the colors they use. Ooh, I like the shapes they use. Ooh, I like the mood they set. And I just love this. And I find the Primordial Chaos, which is this series, using a limited palette. It's one of her small early pieces. It was commissioned by the Spirits. These are oil paintings. And it's a series of, I think, 26, and it's using like a handful of colors. So I didn't realize that until after I was reading this. I picked out what I thought the colors were, and it's just, I did it with colored pencil, so I used the colors from this. I love this series. It's kind of funny if you know anything about art history, how early she was creating this is revolutionary, and people are trying to ignore her presence. I know she didn't contribute the same as Kandinsky to the current, at least before she came out now, like her things got popular now, how she didn't really influence school of thought and everything around abstracts. And some people don't want to argue that she's not even an abstract painter because of her spiritual aspects. But if you know anything if you know anything about like Kandinsky and all them, they practice with this eventually too. So any way, shape, form, if you want to exclude Hilma af Klint, it's because she's a woman, and it makes you rethink history. Isn't that just like, but? Anyways, of course my sketchbook ends up talking about Hilma because, you know, I ran out of ideas, and I just love Hilma af Klint's work. So, yeah, I got those colors from that series, the Primordial Chaos. Oh, it's called Primordial Chaos, like 1, 2, 3, 4. I forgot to point that out. The names. I find it intriguing that she didn't give them. It's just Group 1, Primordial Chaos, number 6, 7, 8, 9, to 26. These are ones I want to eventually draw too. I just love her art so much. It's like so many, yeah. So these were all using a limited palette, and I picked colors from that in order to do these ones. But these were in pencil. Just never really did use so much yellow, and I just love it. Oop! This is just me trying to do a flower. My aunt who passed away a few years ago, she first person to really show me like real kindness and to treat me like almost like an equal, even though I was like a preteen, and I really appreciated that. And I try to bring that attitude to kids too, because I had a hard time, and her kindness, even if it meant nothing to her, really touched my heart, you know? And I know it meant something to her. I'm just saying, you know, even if it didn't mean that much, to just give some kindness to somebody, treating them like an equal, and, you know, offering them things and not just criticizing them and being mean, it can make just such a difference. And I just try to be that kind of an adult with like my nephews and stuff. And I just like, while I drew this, I thought of her and the times we hung out when I was like 15 and 16. And another one of these where I did the color swap to what I complained in the last vid about. Oops, and I passed it already. This one. So, said I wanted it reversed and done differently, so that's what I did. That's what I did. I don't have much to say about it. Oh, I wanted to do some psychedelic mushrooms. I really like psychedelic art. And I was like, whoa, I drew this? I want to leave some white. I wish I'd left white instead of yellow. I don't know. And this one, I just was trying my hand at an abstract landscape, but this is the sky lake, and this is the sky, and this is, you know, the water or something, but I don't get that from it, but I still really like it. Oh, look. Wow. Anyways, and this is gonna be one of the next projects I paint just for fun too. Maybe just for a little TikTok or something. Wow, I love this one so much. This is also a video on my channel. If you want to, a few of them actually are. I don't know. I just randomly did some as videos or TikToks, and I'll try linking them down below if you're interested. I'll just link to my TikTok, actually, so I don't have to do a million. Well, I really appreciate you listening to me ramble about my art, and in the middle of doing this, I'm just such a rough person that I broke this. I'm so sad. It was ripping. It's been ripping for a while. I tried to be as gentle, but I wasn't too gentle opening it and putting books on top of it. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. And then I did this to the spine. I'm just such a bad owner. If you don't know about my new sketchbook, I made it a while ago, and I've already started that, so I can't wait to do more of a tour because there's so much empty space. Lots of empty space. I'm taking a Skillshare class. This isn't my own original work, but I didn't do it from a grid or anything. It's so fun. Anyways, thank you for joining me.